Hello, welcome to Food Immerse, a channel where we not only teach you how to cook delicious dishes, but immerse ourselves in the history, culture, science, and beauty of food. I'm Lorraine, and I'm so excited for you to join me on this journey, exploring different cuisines, ingredients, and cooking techniques. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single delicious episode. Ginger sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a popular dish on Thanksgiving menus, but many versions are extremely sweet and almost dessert-like. We set out to make a less sweet version by dramatically reducing the sugar in the filling from a typical 1 cup to just an optional 2 tablespoons. I prefer leaving it out of the filling altogether. Next, we added ginger 3 ways to balance the natural sweetness of the potatoes: ground and fresh grated in the filling, and candied ginger in the topping instead of the typical marshmallows. The topping is still sweet with a 1/2 cup brown sugar, but this can be reduced to a 1/4 cup if you want to reduce the sugar level even more. The craveable crunchy topping also includes coconut, walnuts or pecans, and the chopped candied ginger. The dish can be made a day ahead with the topping left off until right before baking. There is a lot of confusion around sweet potatoes versus yams. Take a look at these photos and see if you can tell which are sweet potatoes and which are yams. All of these are sweet potatoes. It is rare to find true yams in standard grocery stores, and it's all due to a group of Louisiana farmers in the 1930s. They had grown a brand new variety of orange flesh sweet potato and wanted to distinguish it from other varieties from other states and name them yams. It was all a marketing ploy, and to this day supermarkets frequently mislabel orange flesh sweet potatoes as yams. Those candied yam dishes you see are actually candied sweet potatoes. Here is what a true yam actually looks like. The skin is rougher, resembling tree bark, and they are much larger than sweet potatoes. The flesh is much drier and starchier, and most varieties are not sweet, with a flavor more similar to yuca. Yams are commonly used in African and Caribbean dishes and can be found in specialty markets selling products from those regions. Now that we've cleared up the sweet potato versus yam confusion, let's get cooking. To make the filling for ginger sweet potatoes, you will need 1½ pounds sweet potatoes, 1 egg, a 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, a 1/4 teaspoon ground ginger, 1 3 to 4 inch piece of fresh ginger, 2 tablespoons sugar, optional, 4 tablespoons butter at room temperature, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. To make the topping for ginger sweet potatoes, you will need a 1/2 cup shredded unsweetened coconut, 3 tablespoons flour, a 1/2 cup firmly packed brown sugar, or a 1/4 cup if you prefer, a 1/2 cup chopped walnuts or pecans, a 1/4 cup chopped candied ginger, and 4 tablespoons unsalted butter melted. The only special equipment you will need is one 1½ to 2 quart baking dish and 1 microplane grater. Start by putting a large pot of water over high heat to boil. Next, peel the sweet potatoes. Cut both ends off the potatoes. Then cut in half crosswise. Place each half cut side down and cut in half lengthwise. Rot the knife if it isn't going through easily. This is safer than just pushing down harder. Lay the quarters flat side down and cut into chunks. They don't need to be particularly even. Place sweet potatoes into boiling water and cook until soft, about 20 minutes. While the squash is cooking, let's prep the fresh ginger. Break any small knobs off. Using a thin spoon, cup side down, scrape the skin off the ginger about halfway up. We are using a longer piece than needed, so we will have something to hold on to while grating. Cut the skin off the end of the ginger. Hold the ginger securely in one hand. Place the grater sharp side down over the top and make a few strokes to create a channel that will help hold the grater in place when you speed up. Using steady pressure and sliding the grater back and forth rather than lifting it each time will help prevent accidentally scraping the grater across your hand. Grate anywhere from 1 to 3 teaspoons depending on how strong you'd like the ginger flavor. This is close to 2 teaspoons. Use a knife to test the sweet potatoes. It should go through with no resistance. Drain the potatoes and allow to cool for about 5 minutes. Preheat the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Assemble the filling ingredients for our next step. Make sure the 4 tablespoons of butter is at room temperature. Pour sweet potatoes into a large mixing bowl. First, add the butter using a rubber spatula to mix it into the sweet potatoes. Next, add the cinnamon, nutmeg, and ground ginger, the optional 2 tablespoons sugar, the half teaspoon of vanilla, the 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and the grated fresh ginger. Mix thoroughly. Finally, add the egg. By waiting until the end, the mixture has cooled off enough that it won't cook the egg. Combine well. Pour the mixture into a 1½ to 2 quart baking dish and smooth the top. Now let's make the topping. Melt the 4 tablespoons butter and assemble the rest of the ingredients. Into a medium mixing bowl, put the shredded coconut, the flour, the chopped nuts, I used walnuts here, the ½ cup packed brown sugar, you can use a 1/4 cup if you prefer, and the chopped candied ginger. Combine topping ingredients with a fork. You can make everything up to this point the night before baking. Right before baking, add melted butter to the topping. Combine thoroughly until the topping ingredients are moistened throughout. Pour topping over sweet potatoes and spread out to cover. Place in preheated oven for 35 minutes or until topping is slightly browned. Thank you so much for joining Food Immerse and exploring different cuisines, ingredients, and cooking techniques. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss a single delicious episode. If you make this dish, I would love to hear about it in the comments or shoot me an email. Until next time, cheers to good food.